I'm so confused. I'm a bit thick and I don't understand the ending.
I'll be honest, I was a bit confused till about 1 second ago because I was like, where's this going? I turned back and asked April to repeat herself. April pointed. The lady is hanging by her braid.
You can't laugh at that, actually. No, you have to take it back. Everything was fine until I began to wash my genitals. Welcome to episode 33
of
Huns Ghost.
What? Why do you sound like
I'm
you're
in
in a
the
porn
upside
film?
down.
Why are you
What was
making
that?
weird porn? Stop it now.
No, something weird just... Did you hear that? Is that door shut properly?
No.
Did you hear that rumble?
I'm going to close it. Hang on.
The rumble in the tumble.
Welcome, Suzie, for not closing the podcast studio door.
So I'm just going to podcast by myself. Welcome. This is my episode. Welcome to Ghost Huns with Suzie the Ghost Hunt. Oh, she's back.
Suzie. It makes me laugh how you say your name because I say Suzie and you go Suzie.
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 It's Suzie.
Suzie.
Suzie with a Z.
I used to really like the name Suki.
Oh, that's a cool name.
That's a cool name, isn't it? I think I look like a Suki.
I really like that your name is a palindrome.
Oh, I don't. It's really. I find my name really boring.
Hannah.
It's turned into the cookie.
And I'm Iisus, like Jesus. So I'm essentially Jesus. Anyway, listen, we don't have time to talk about how I'm the Messiah, but
we know we're very well. We're both very well too.
I am.
So, shall we jump right in and I'll pick a tarot?
I would like you to pick a tarot, Hannah.
I've kind of decided that what I might do today is instead of pick one, I'll blow on them and see which one comes out further.
All right, I'm going to
What do you think? I'm just going to go. Going to go all the way here. Ready? Okay. Nothing.
Okay, you inhaled instead of blew out. I've never seen anyone do that in my life.
Hang on.
I don't think she can blow. Okay, that's a bit better.
Okay, a little bit. Okay, so it's.
She can blow.
I'm going to. I spat everywhere then.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you need to work on it.
Okay, it's definitely this one. Okay, so it's this one.
Okay, don't look until you're sat in your chair and at the mic.
Do you know what? This is the part of the podcast that makes me the most anxious.
What is it?
Oh, okay.
Throw me the book.
The book.
Throw me.
This is a
the book.
very flamboyant little bastard here. Oh my gosh.
Who is he?
It's the Page of Cups, Suzie. It's only the Page of Cups.
Oh my god! Oh, that flamboyant gay lad.
With a fish in a
I
cup.
swear we've had him before.
Have we?
Yeah, it's very on, like, bang on
It's
for
very
like
honey, isn't
Pride.
it?
Yeah, he's like,
Pride
here's
month,
my
yeah.
massive goblet.
With a fish in it.
Yeah, here's my fish and here's my goblet. The Page of what?
Cups. Page of fish.
Page of fucking what? The Page of what? Do you want to come to my tarot night?
Oh my god.
Oh, here we go. The Page of fucking cups means I can't find the fucker. I can't fucking find
The
it.
Page of Cups is the Page of Cups. Cups, Page, Cups.
Oh,
page,
here he
cups.
is. Here's the camp. The page represents curiosity and creativity.
We're going to get super creative in this episode.
It encourages an open mind to new possible ideas.
Oh.
Absolutely smashed it, Hannah.
Oh, gorgeous.
It's gorgina.
Gorgy.
I wouldn't expect anything less from that, lad.
No. Okay, perfect.
So really, we've
I'm
nailed
so
it.
glad we did
Do you
that.
want to kick us off with a
I'd love to give you a story.
tale?
I'd love to give you a tale. Hang on, 2 seconds. This is going to be
Por
a bit
favor.
of a delay, so it will have to be just on.
Hannah, dime una historia spooky.
Very good.
Muchas
That was
gracias.
actually very good.
Thank you.
I found one, but it was on my internet, and now I can.
I'm obsessed with my nails, but they're a bit bubbly.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it was a rush job. Yeah,
someone,
no.
did you pay for those?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's. Did you?
Wow. Did you pay for
Did
that?
money exchange hands for those fucking trotters?
You are a little
No, I
dickhead.
didn't mean to say it that way. I meant like,
Well, you said it that way.
Well, you said it was a rush job. Why was it a rush job?
Well, look, I was in and out, you know. I think it was one of those salons that's like, it's
shop.
called like California Nails, and it's
Yeah.
just,
I go to USA Nails.
I love that.
Well, not
and
anymore
it's like
because-
in Tooting and like,
Yeah.
it couldn't be less American.
Oh, how much was it?
17 quid.
Okay, I might come to go to yours tomorrow morning then. Where was it in Tooting?
California Nails. I mean, I booked with Gina, but then I had a lad who I don't know what his name was, but I don't think he was called Gina. And he
Was it a chop shop? Was like people doing it on the cheap?
I think it's cheap. Yeah,
Okay, good, fine.
yeah.
I'll go to them tomorrow.
Everyone's maybe Vietnamese and having a lovely time.
Perfect.
Anyway,
Okay, hang on 2 seconds.
I can't wait to do my haunted bit at the end of this podcast. By the way,
Really? Is it good? I need to
I
remember.
have a
to order that
story about it, and it's not okay.
book. Oh my god.
It's actually a bit spooky. What happened earlier today as I was leaving my house.
Ah.
I say house.
You
It's
also need
flat.
to tell me about your dream.
Oh. So I had this dream,
Yeah.
and I dreamt I went to visit your family home in Plymouth. Now, you don't,
don't
live
live
in
in Plymouth.
I know you don't live in
I
Plymouth.
don't live in Suzie. I don't live in Plymouth.
That's fine. That's where you were in my dream.
No, I don't live in Plymouth.
You don't? Anyway, we're in Plymouth at your family home.
I don't live in
where you live. And your dad was showing us around, and he looked like a vicar. And he's showing us around, and it was a very modern condo. And it looked
Condo?
out.
What
it
is a
looked out
condo?
over the sea. And I'm not joking. This house was clean, very clean. And these windows were looking out onto the sea. And then he said, "You've got to watch out for the haunted boy, because when you walk into the house, he doesn't like new guests." And honestly, it was the most vivid. And he said it really normally, really. He was like, "Just watch out for the boy." And we were looking out onto this calm sea through these beautiful windows. There was like, there wasn't even a particle of dust. I mean, your house is fucking clean, Hannah.
Yeah. My mum does keep a clean house. My family home
Keeps a clean
keeps a
class.
clean class.
Yeah.
And now the dog's died, so they're not molting.
R.I.P..
It's not molting everywhere, rubbing his face up against the windows. And also, my sister, her husband, and baby have left because their house is now renovated. So it is kept very clean.
There's just
be
some.
fair.
I'm just saying, watch out for the haunted boy,
Well,
because I
told you the story
vivid.
about the boy, didn't I?
What? No,
About my mum seeing a little boy in the house.
no.
Yeah,
Don't
I
say
promise
that.
you. I
Don't
promise
say
you. I'll
that.
call her if you want. No.
What?
Yeah. She saw a little boy in the house. That's a bit weird.
Oh my god! I've actually got goosebumps.
And actually, it is weird that you say like it's really clean, because in the kitchen, and like it's like the kitchen living room now. It's like all been knocked out, and it's all a big one room. It's very like everything's white, like white, big white tiles
Yeah.
on the floor, big like white. It's all like
Yeah.
very. And someone said it looked like an Apple store, and it kind of does.
but that's what was in my dream. I was really struck by how like
I do think
spotless
you've
it was.
probably seen a photo though.
Well, it didn't look like any photos I'd seen. It was more that like there was just a knowledge.
Did you see this? Did you see the scary boy?
Acknowledgement. I didn't see the boy, but then it was like I was in The Sims, and like a skull kept appearing in like 3D above my head, like I was next.
Oh.
Very weird. Anyway, have you got a story for me?
Ever since I can remember, I've had an aversion to pickles.
Oh, I've seen this.
Have you seen it?
I don't know if I've read it, but I've seen it.
I love pickles. Loads. Have you had one of those big ones that come in like a little...
I don't like pickles, Hannah.
What?
They're all right.
What?
I won't.
Sir?
I'm not going to remove her, but she could stay in my
Fucking
Mackie
love
D
pickles.
burger.
Ah, delicious.
Burger. But I'm not going to like munch on one from a
Don't like a
fucking
pickle?
jar.
Oh my god. Cornichon? Cornichon.
Cornichon.
You don't like a cornichon?
Cornichon.
Cornichon.
Go down
They're
Cornichon
very-
and get me a
The
7-Up.
jar of like cornichon and pickled onions. Oh my gosh, amazing. Anyway, when I was little, my grandmother would send me down the cellar to bring up a jar for sandwiches for lunch, or maybe a jar of marmalade for
You're not
breakfast.
speaking into the mic. Can you start again
not
with
speaking into the
your
mic.
mouth at the mic?
So
Thank
sorry.
you.
When I was little, my grandmother would send me down the cellar to bring up a jar for sandwiches for lunch, or maybe a jar of marmalade for breakfast, I would start to tremble just at the thought of going down those long, cool rows of jars, all filled with things that had once been alive and vibrant, and were now shriveled, shrunken, discoloured versions of themselves, floating helplessly in sinister-looking brines or jellied into sticky, pulpy masses.
Jesus.
Gran would stand at the top of the stairs, her long shadow falling down them, and scold, "Hurry, boy, I'll pickle you if you're not back up by the time I count to 10. It's a bit harsh. I wasn't the only kid around scared of Gran. The neighbourhood kids all avoided her, but I never knew anybody else scared of pickles and jars. Gibber bitch. Anyway, the aversion grew worse as I got older, becoming pretty much a phobia by the time I was in my 20s. It caused some awkward social situations, but mostly I could live with it. My wife thought it was kind of cute. Or she did. But now, we're down in Gran's cellar, cleaning. Gran passed away last week, and we've got to clean the place before we can sell it. All these jars, more preserves than any one person could ever use, and I'm finally figuring out my fear of pickles and jars, and why the neighbourhood kids were all as scared of Gran as I was. My wife is starting to get a little hysterical.
Jesus.
Just throw them in the trash, don't look, I advise, remembering from my youth how some jars seemed to have things in it that looked almost like body parts or eyes or ears. Just tell yourself it's only pickles.
Oh my word.
So it's pickled bits. Pickled bits of your body.
Pickled organ.
Pickled bits.
So she's
pickled bits
basically
of your
got
body.
human offal
She's got
in jars.
Offal in jars.
How
baby.
awful. Oh! Right. Hannah, I've got a story for you.
Oh my God, can you tell me a story, please? What's the story about? Tell me the story.
Terrifying spooky shower. So, when I was about 15 and living with my parents, our hot water and heating was heated by a gas boiler. Sometimes it ran out and we had to manually change the dial to switch to the full gas bottles and buy full ones. This one time, the dial was stuck. It wouldn't move at all. It was the middle of December in rural Devon in the UK. We had no fire at that time, so no hot water or heating at all. Not sure what to do. We ended up packing our bags and going to a friend's house. The friend lived in an old farmhouse and ran the holiday place that had been built there in the 80s. Self-catered holiday homes built from the old farm buildings and converted. They let us use the shower in one of the holiday lets as they were closed during December. So we had free reign of the whole holiday house.
Oh, lovely.
Gorgina.
Are they just moving in proper or just going down for a shower?
It's for a couple of days till the heating's sorted.
Just beautiful.
Gorge.
Beautiful.
Love a bit of Devon.
Beautiful.
I love Devon.
Oh my God. I love Devon, Cornwall anyway by the fucking sea.
Mum and Dad were in the main house with our friends, while I was left to shower and head on inside when I was ready to. Mum and Dad were in the main house with our friends, while I was left to shower and head on inside when I was ready to before sleeping in the big house. I'm getting undressed in the bathroom and forgot all my towels. So as I was alone, I stayed naked and went into the front room to find the towels I'd left behind. I grabbed them, brought them into the bathroom with me, and put them on the closed toilet lid. A classic move. I mean, we all do that.
Yeah.
Got in the shower and I began washing myself. After about 5 minutes or so, I could feel a cold breeze blowing in from somewhere. Figuring it was a window left open or a door not quite closed properly, I poked my head out from behind the shower door, and my towels were on the floor in the doorway. I know that no one had been in there, as I would have heard the very big solid oak creaking front door open. I thought they must have slid off on their own, so I threw them over the towel rack.
I love that that's a reasonable act. I just thought they'd got up and left on their own. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. If you stack them wrong, they're like they've slid off. Gravity. And I threw them on the
Gravity.
It's
Inertia.
fucking gravity.
Physics.
Science.
Bunsen burner.
Bunsen burner.
Inertia.
Nice little learner.
What is inertia? Exactly, no one
That.
knows. What?
Inertia's when you just can't move. Or you're like lethargic or sloth-like?
I don't think it is.
Sudden inertia, you can't move.
Okay, no.
Bunsen burner. Anyway, I thought they must have slid off on their own, so I threw them over the towel rack and made sure they wouldn't fall off and got back in the shower. Everything was fine until I began to wash my genitals.
Sorry. Genitals. We're such children.
When I heard everything was fine until I began to wash my genitals, when I heard a very loud growl and snarls from the bathroom. I stood stock still, not sure what the heck to do in this situation. I'm naked, alone, and there's a thing washing my genitals, and there's a thing growling at me.
You know what it is? It's the sexy beast.
As I stand, terrified, I notice that I can't see anything in the bathroom with me, but I can hear it. Something inside me made me shout, "I'm not afraid of you!" for some reason. I flung the shower door open and there was nothing. No dog, no human playing prank on me. The bathroom door was still closed and locked, but my towels were on the floor again.
I can imagine them still holding the vagina or balls. Or both.
I think it's a lairder. It's a lairder.
Oh, do you think it is?
No, I know it is.
Oh, right, okay.
It's a lairder. I think somewhere later in the story it says.
Which they might have a cock and balls as well.
Yeah, that's true.
We cannot
Let's not go into
alienate the people that do.
Feeling so...
This is a safe space.
Okay. Feeling so scared and freaked out, I just ran out of the bathroom, out of the holiday let, across the courtyard and into the big house, pounding on the door. Totally naked, banging on the door, crying and hyperventilating. Our friend let me in. She saw me in such a mess and grabbed me inside and shut the door. She brought me into the front room and stood in front of the fire while my dad ran and got me some towels. I turned around and my mother and our friends and entire family were sitting in the front room looking at me.
Embarrassing alert. This sounds like a...
Cringe factor 5.
Yeah, this sounds like a story that you get in Smash magazine.
Yeah.
Was it called Smash?
Sugar.
I love sugar.
I know. Their 2 daughters were white as sheets and looked about as terrified as I was. I explained what I'd just experienced to everyone in the room, trying my best not to collapse in tears. When I finished telling them, the grandma of our friends looked at me and said, "Did it only growl when you were washing or touching your genitals?"
Stop saying genitals.
And I was
it makes
like,
me laugh so much.
Yeah, more or less. Everyone in our...
It was the sexy beast of Banbury. I'm horny. Horny.
Stop touching your minge.
Get your hand out your minge.
Everyone in our friend's family looked at each other in a way that told me they had all either had that same experience at one point or other, or been told by guests that it happened.
Shut up.
Turns out both daughters had the same thing happen in that same shower when they were having hot water issues. The mother had the same thing, as did one of the daughter's boyfriends only the day before. Eventually, I was calm and sat back on the sofa, still naked under my towels. No one was willing to go get my clothes from the holiday let shower room. So Grandma went and got me some PJs they usually give to the guests. And when they come... So Grandma went and got me some PJs they usually give to guests when they come to stay. I put them on while my parents held the towels up for me and joined them back on the sofa. I didn't sleep at all that night and was so scared of it happening again. I spent the whole night with my hands death gripping the headboard of the bed so as not to touch myself anywhere. Any idea what the hell it was? Some kind of demon that has something against self-hygiene?
Amazing.
I've spent the last 10 years trying to think what it could have been. Turns out that at least 20 guests have experienced the same thing while showering in the holiday let. Rumour has it there's a well of some kind underneath the floor of that particular building, and that might have something to do with its potent activity.
Wow.
What the fuck's going on there? Is it a prude ghost or is it like a horny ghost? Yeah.
It's not even... Yeah, Ghislaine. Oh, do you know what? We haven't said anything about what happened to us the other week.
I don't think we should.
Well, I think we should do it on Huns episode.
Huns, yeah, had.
Okay, listen, it's a lot. It's a big story.
That is the most absurd ghost story I've ever heard, and I love it.
Maybe it's a funny ghost, and it's making a joke on growler.
Yeah, I did think there was.
Your growler.
Stop touching your growler.
You dirty bat. What's your growler?
No, it's just a very odd.
That's weird.
It's an odd thing for grandma as well to pipe up with. Were you touching your genitals at the time?
Yeah, grandma's like, I know all about it. When I had a little when I got Liddy with the clitty in the shower. My gran always,
Liddy?
Yeah, I always get my gran always says that.
What does that mean?
Liddy with the clit. You know, it's like the language of the youngers now, Susie. We aren't.
Your grandma says it.
No, I'm just joking. Obviously, my grandma has never said. I'm just getting Liddy with the clitty. Oh my God!
I believe that.
Yeah. Why does your grandma say that?
I was like, your grandma says Liddy with the clitty.
Yeah, she's always often saying it. Liddy with the clitty is like getting all like. I mean, let's pretend I haven't just made it up, to be fair. But what I mean, yeah, getting all like, oh, I'm in the shower, I'm gonna have a bit of me time, gonna spend a bit of quality time with my growler. Getting Liddy with the clitty.
I mean, the episode has to be called Liddy with the clitty.
Of course, it's going to be called Liddy with the clitty.
Of course it is. Okay, I love that. On to the next.
Oh no, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. This is called Julia Was a Clever Girl. Mm-hmm. Julia knew she was smart. She was one of those clever children, the kind of child who figures out early on that parents aren't all powerful and all knowing. She sounds like Matilda, doesn't she? The first time she realised this was when she got scared. There had been a noise in her room coming from under the bed, from the closet. Sorry. Julia ran down the hall crying, Mummy, Daddy, what's wrong, honey? I heard a monster. Julia glubbed. Glubbed? That's a nice word. Glub, 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 glub. Sounds like someone's swimming in a milkshake or something. She expected them to comfort her or roll their eyes or get annoyed. Instead, they jumped up immediately and raced to her bedroom, where they checked under the bed, inspected the closet and tested the window lock. They poked, prodded and scoured every inch. Julia caught on quickly. She knew what they were doing. By taking her fear seriously, they were showing their little girl that she was safe and loved. They had probably read about it in some book. But the lesson Julia learned was that she had power. Thereafter waking her... It
is Matilda.
Thereafter waking her parents became a nightly event. Julia would scream and cry. They would rush to her bedroom and Julia would hide her grin behind tears. But not once did they ever complain. One night she could stand it no longer and she burst out laughing when Daddy fell down while examining the light fixture, as if a monster could fit up there.
She's evil.
What's so funny? He asked, rubbing his backside. You, Julia smirks. You always believe me. Daddy wasn't angry. He just looked at Mummy. Oh, he said quietly. Oh, sorry. He said once. He said quietly. Just once. We didn't believe your brother. And Julia, an only child, did not sleep well that night.
I'm so confused. I'm a bit thick and I don't understand the ending.
I'll be honest, I was a bit confused till about 1 second ago because I was like, where's this going? What happened was basically that they had a son and he was taken by a monster. And so that's why.
That's why they believe her.
That's why they believe her, because they're not. Because he said once, just once, we didn't believe your brother. And she hasn't got a brother, which means that she's got a dead brother.
Dead bro.
That's what it means.
Dead bro.
So monsters under the bed. You know what I mean?
Know what I mean?
Know what I mean?
Okay. Gorgina, thank you for that.
I've
got another
you going to do another one?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a
go.
It's a Little.
Let's go. I've got a couple. I've got Little as well.
Okay. I was a hospice nurse for 17 years and had so many spiritual experiences. One incident, I was working in the hospice inpatient unit where we had 10 beds for the patients. I had one woman who was actively dying. As I passed by her room, I peeked in and saw her sitting up on the side of her bed, smiling. I walked on by, then stopped.
Walk on by, do, 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 do. Walk on by. Oh, that's horrible.
I walked on by, then stopped recalling she's not been doing so well. Also, she was missing a leg, and when I just... You can't laugh at that, actually.
No,
you have to take it back.
No, it's the way you said it. I'm not laughing at what you went. I mean, she had one leg. Just.
It's the way you said it.
It's the way
She's
you
got
said
one
it.
leg.
It's not about the leglessness. It's about the way you said it.
Also, she was missing a leg, and when I just saw her a few seconds prior, she had both legs. I backed up and looked in the room, and she was still laying in bed. I thought maybe I had seen her soul getting ready to leave the body. She looked so happy. After the end of my shift, I went home. When I walked in my house, there she was, standing in my hallway. She had both legs, looked at least half her age, and was smiling so brightly. I stood there, smiled at her, thanked her for giving me a visit, and then she faded away. I called work and told them to go in and check on her. The nurse came back to the phone and affirmed she had passed away. I felt so blessed she chose to touch in and share her joy passing on.
It's a bit too wholesome for me, I'll be honest.
I think that is a lovely little story, and you laughed at her one leg.
Sure. Anyway, another story.
Sure.
I like, it was a bit too, cutesy for me.
You prefer shitty clitty.
I prefer getting Liddy with the cliddy. Or offal and jaws. I was heading to the bathroom on the second floor of my aunt's house when I saw my cousin, April, on the stairs. April was 4 and she was very animated. She was busy making funny faces while sitting on the stairs. I asked her what she was doing. She says, "I'm copying the lady with the braid." I looked around and there was no one else but us. I asked, "Where is the lady, April?" She pointed to a beam running parallel to the stairwell. I asked April, "What is the lady doing?" She said, "Making funny faces." I don't know why she sounded like Daffy Duck.
Okay.
Or Mickey Mouse. Making funny faces. I smiled and started
Wait, do
walking.
the voice again.
Making funny faces.
No, as in like April, like a kid. Make it creepy.
Okay, hang on. "Where is the lady, April?" She pointed to a beam running parallel to the stairwell. I asked April, "What is the lady doing?" She said, "Making funny faces."
That's fucking horrid.
I smiled and started walking up the stairs again when April said something that stopped me in my tracks. "Her braid is around her neck."
Oh!
I turned back. Your face. Are you okay?
No. That's grim.
I know. I turned back and asked April to repeat herself. April pointed. "The lady is hanging by her braid."
Fucking hell.
"She's making funny faces." Then April started making a face, which I then realised was someone gasping for air.
Oh, that is horrible. I feel like you've unlocked a new level of creepy.
I've gone real weird with it.
It's like that voice. I feel like
Yeah,
now
that
we're
went-
at, what were
I
we,
was-
level
I-
33?
Yeah, I freaked myself out. Then,
Unlock
actually.
Hannah's child voice.
Oh, yeah.
I see funny
Yeah,
faces.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no.
That was, I even scared myself then. Making funny faces.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Good,
But
though.
The Mickey Mouse one wasn't very good, though, was it? Making
No,
funny faces.
I was like, no,
I
no,
actually
no.
think that's a good Mickey Mouse impression. Making funny faces.
That's not.
What? You do it then.
Making funny faces.
Yeah, if Mickey Mouse had a mouthful of ulcers, fucking hell. Making funny faces. Sound like you're chewing on a bin.
I grew up in a
Chewing
bin.
on a bin.
We all know I grew up in a fucking trash can.
Okay,
I'm ready to do a little story for you. I've got a little. Right, Hannah, I need your undivided attention
Okay.
because this is good.
I need to find this.
It's fine. Ahem. Ahem. I'm like Umbridge. Ahem. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Last night, I was visited in a dream by a man who I've never seen before in my life. I was waiting on the Metropolitan line platforms at Moorgate, London Underground.
Oh, no, we're not. I thought we were at Moorgate now, but we're not. We're at Embankment, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
I was at Moorgate the other day. Cool story. Wait till it again.
Love that. Really fascinating. I was waiting on the Metropolitan line platforms at Moorgate Station late at night. I was alone on the platform when an empty train arrived at the station. The train, curiously, wasn't one used on the modern-day network, rather an antiquated red painted train. One set of the doors on the train opened, and a tall man in a black uniform stepped out of the train. He had black hair and sunken eyes, and a paranoid-looking expression. He looked at me as he stepped off the train, before walking towards me and beckoning me to stand up from the bench where I was sitting. I walked over to the man, who put a hand on my shoulder. He looked me in the eyes and told me that his name was Les. He said to me, and I remember it word for word, "My incident, it wasn't my fault, I promise. I need to get that off my chest." When I got out of bed this morning, I immediately Googled Moorgate Station, only to learn that it was the site of a crash which killed dozens in a crushed train in 1975. The interesting part comes from when I learned that the driver of the train was a man named Leslie Newson. And the cause as to why he failed to stop the train before it hit the buffers at the end of the platform was never determined. I plan on visiting the platform where it happened at some point in the next few days. I live quite close to the station and have used it many times before, unaware of what happened there merely 50 years ago. I'm here to ask if anyone has any connections to the disaster, or if they know anyone who knows any more information than is available on the internet. Let me know. Any help would be much appreciated.
Oh my God, if you know Leslie.
In my head, it's Leslie Nielsen, and I'm like, that's the bloke from Airplane.
Yeah, which one? What?
Have you seen Airplane?
No. Leslie Nielsen, I think.
Leslie.
No, I'm thinking of Dennis Nielsen, the killer.
Yeah, classic.
Not the same guy.
On brand for you and me. Airplane is one of my favourite films. In fact, I think it might be my favourite film.
Really? What's it about?
It's slapstick. It's like it's about a guy who has to land a plane.
What's my favourite film? I know you didn't ask. Okay. But...
Fuck sake.
Okay, great. So what's my favourite film? I think it's Stand By Me.
Oh my God, that's mine too.
No, you just said it was Aeroplane.
No, it's and Stand By Me.
It's the best film.
River Phoenix.
How is Stand By Me creepy, emotional, and wholesome and comforting all at the same time?
It's one of the best films I've ever seen.
One of the
I was
best
obsessed
films in the world.
with it, and it's great to play with your friends and be like, "Who's who? Like, who would you be?"
I think I'd be River Phoenix.
Yeah, everyone wants to be River Phoenix.
I'm probably Vern.
With the glasses.
No, with the pudgy one. You know, that's got like the speech impediment.
Yeah, that's you. I would be the one who's desperate to like tell stories, and he's the nerdy one who's best friends with River Phoenix.
Yeah, you're the one that you want to be River Phoenix, but you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're a bit shit.
Okay.
Vern. I am so Vern. You know, and he's got the Pez dispenser and the
yeah.
Okay,
They're such good characters, aren't they?
I'm gonna
anyway.
they're amazing.
The OG Stranger Things kind of vibe.
I don't like Stranger Things. I've said it. I don't like it.
Okay. Well.
Okay, are you ready for Creep of the Week? Creep of the Week.
I am.
And this is from a lady who has the best name in the world. It's Hannah.
Ooh.
Hannah on TikTok is Hannah Desjardins, which is what, Hannah the Garden?
Hannah of the Gardens.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Might not be, but I like
Hey,
that.
Ghost Huns, supportive American here. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. I want to share my story with you, but this is somewhat a long one, but a really good one. In the summer of 2008, I was 16, moving back from Florida with my family to Massachusetts. My mum sent me first to stay with my boyfriend of the time at his house on the Cape for 2 months, and then she was coming with my younger siblings, and we would be moving into our house just off the Cape. Now, I guess a lady was murdered in my boyfriend's house in the 1980s. We didn't know this at the time. The first couple of instances of strange happenings started with our friend staying in the basement with his puppy one night alone. His puppy stayed up the whole night barking at a corner of the basement, and our friend had an overall bad feeling and said he was never sleeping down there again after being kept up all night with the barking and bad vibes. The next thing was my boyfriend's mum was working away for a week, so we had the house to ourselves, along with his brother. But weird things started happening all week. His brother would be at work all day from 6 a.m. to 4:30, and his job wasn't a job where he could come home for breaks. But oddly enough, we were coming home from doing stuff during the day and the furnace would be turned all the way up. Or the TV would be turned on with the volume all the way up. That's fucking horrible. When it was off when we left. Also, one of the nights my boyfriend and I were in the basement and heard what sounded like somebody calling his name. Tyler. Tyler. But nobody was there.
Oh no.
His mum and brother didn't really believe us until one day his mum heard someone calling my boyfriend's name when none of us were home. And nobody was outside in the yard or anything, so it couldn't have been them. His brother had the flu one day and was sleeping on the couch in the living room. And he swore to God he saw a black shadowy figure walk down the hallway to the basement. Oh no. But the worst possible instance happened to me. One night, my boyfriend fell asleep on the living room couch. Sofa. His mum was asleep in her bedroom. My boyfriend's brother asleep and snoring in his room. I tried to wake up my boyfriend but gave up and eventually put a blanket on him and went to sleep in his room. This is when things get weird. I shut off the light and immediately get into bed. I started to feel really scared for some reason and my heart started racing. I swear this bad feeling went on for about 10 minutes when all of a sudden I heard someone whisper clear as day, "Hey baby." Now, I would have known if someone had come in for sure because the bedroom door was broken off 2 hinges at the top. Fucking hell. So it dragged on the floor when you opened it wicked loudly, so I know nobody came in. I never pulled the covers over my head so fast and stayed there freaking out for about 5 minutes. I jumped up, flipped on the light switch and ran out to the living room to my boyfriend. It was truly terrifying.
Oh my God.
Imagine that. Hey baby.
Hey baby.
Hey, thank you so much, Hannah.
Another horny ghost.
Oh my God, all these horny ghosts. Hannah, let us know if anything else happens. Okay.
That's horrid. The whispering in your ear.
Hey baby, wanna get Liddy with the cliddy?
Stop it. Stop it. Right.
Okay.
Would you like to get haunted?
Do you know what? I'd fucking love to.
Hannah, I've got a book in my hand.
Right.
It is 1,411 facts to knock you sideways.
Can't wait to be knocked sideways.
Now, as a little experiment before I left the flat, I decided at random, because do you remember we played a book in an earlier episode where you get a red book and you just flick?
This feels like you got your bag together and thought, oh fuck, I haven't got anything to haunt Hannah with.
No, this has been pre-planned. And I went and I went to a random, I won't find, oh no, here we go. Just found it again. I went to a random page. It happens to be 162, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is gonna be a message from the other side to you. When I tried it, just to see if anything was out there, the first thing I looked at when I went in was the French equivalent of LOL is MDR. Mort de rire. Dead from laughing.
I'm knocked sideways.
She's knocked sideways, ladies and gentlemen. Sideways.
Don't you dare say that Penguin Publishing books don't do what they say on the tin.
Okay, she's a bit pissed, isn't she? So here's the book. Catch.
Hang on. What's the point
what you have to do? No, don't be sneery.
No, I'm sneering.
No,
this
don't
is a
sneer.
rubbish haunt. Go on.
Can you please rein it in?
Yeah.
You need to just clear your mind
It's gone. It's cleared.
and just be ready to be knocked sideways to the right or left. Now, clear your mind and say, if there's anyone on the other side, guide me and tell me your message.
What? So I have to get...
Say that out loud.
If there's anyone on the other side, guide me and send me your message. Even though I think this is probably Suzie being completely unprepared.
Go into the book and find your message. Read it out.
Wayne Rooney's voicemail password was Stella Artois.
That's terrifying. Okay, do it again. One more time. Oh my God, what does it say?
I definitely can't say that.
Why?
The Hindenburg airship was almost named the Hitler.
Okay. And then the third one is the message. That's what I meant to say. So, no, clear. It's just
Do you know what? You are so...
run up and then...
You're such a bullshit Betty.
You're a bullshit bastard.
Okay. Saddam Hussein's regime destroyed 90% of Iraq's marshes.
That is, honestly, that's the one. You're getting haunted from Iraq. The haunted marshes of Iraq. Well, I think on that cliffhanger, I think we're going to have to leave it there. If anyone's got any stories from the marshes of Iraq, send them in.
Send them to Suzie because she deserves them after that shit haunting. You just made that up.
So I won't do it again. I've got the Himalayan. I'm clutching it because you're going to need this shit later.
Yeah, sure. Okay,
Your marshy
we're going to go
Margaret.
off and talk about what happened to us at Soho Farmhouse.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to talk about some other things. So join us on Patreon. If you go onto Patreon, www.patreon.com, search Ghost Huns, and there we are. You can...
thank you
£4.50 a month. You have
pushing
access
us up
to
the
all...
charts. You've been absolutely fucking great.
We got to number 9 in the comedy podcast. It's just amazing. Also,
Thank you.
somebody sent a message about live shows. I've had loads of messages about live shows.
Yeah.
We are going to be doing live shows. We are definitely going to be doing it.
The 27th of August.
27th of August. I can't say the venue right now.
But it's in Edinburgh.
But it's going to be in Edinburgh on the 27th of
Edinburgh
August.
Fringe Festival, 27th of August. Clear your diary.
We are doing a big fucking show and you're going to want to get your tickets. So
Oh,
follow me and Suzie on Instagram. Follow Ghost Huns on
my
Instagram. I'm going to put all the information out there.
God.
Also, I think it's fair to say, keep your diaries for Halloween free.
Oh,
Because
100%.
we're going to be doing a fucking show on Halloween.
Let's all get haunted together in the same
we
building
can't wait to see
and then
you.
drink about 7 bottles of wine.
Let's have a drink, babe.
Let's have a drink.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for
Join
joining
us
us.
next week.
Episodio 33.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Adios.
Bye.
I'm not sideways.
Bye.